yes, Innkeeper Poncho. It's Innkeeper Vase Odin. Just calling to see how everything went with the Piñata Party.
Oh, well, we got the kid's dad, hung him from a tree and made him into a human piñata.
Oh, really? Well, that's news to me.
Oye, cógelo con el take it easy, okay? Don't get so hung up on it.
Sorry to rope you into this.
Well, I'm not gonna leave you hanging.
So the Piñata Party must have really made an impact.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that kid, especially the son, he really didn't beat around the bush. He just beat his dad to death. Ay, Baba.
Well, since you told me a good story, I've got a great story to tell you, as well as our valued guests. A tale of dreadful dismemberment called The Doom of Eztli.
Okay. Well, over and out.
We will be continuing the Forgotten Age campaign with the Purple Team. This time we're sending in Agnes Baker as the heavy hitter, Marie Lambeau for clue gathering and some support in fighting, Akachi Onyele as the all-arounder, heavy hitter and clue gatherer, and of course, Father Mateo, who will be there for support. Father Mateo is the only one who gained any experience in the last scenario because the others were not in it. So he's going to get rid of Clarity of Mind and Defiance. And those will be replaced with a copy of Level 2 Defiance and Sacrifice, which will allow him to do some card draw or gain resources which he needs for his specific build. And as you can see, Doom on Locations is the name of the game here. We have to avoid that at all costs. So we'll be using an all Mystic team. All the decks were created for the All Purple All the Time collaboration with Arkham Chronicle. The decks, you can find them all in the description below, as well as their corresponding videos and podcasts that were made for them. And because each deck was made without knowing what all the other decks contain in them, this is going to be a very tough playthrough. We're going in with a huge disadvantage, not to mention it's an all Mystic team. So I don't expect us to make it through alive, but hopefully we can make it pretty far and do somewhat well. Wednesday, July 8th, 1925. Our runners, Jose and Maria, returned several days later. They were fully stocked with food, water, aspirin, and weapons. I'm curious how deep Alejandro's connections are in Mexico. For an outcast historian, he was able to secure guns and ammunition faster than I had anticipated. But perhaps it is better if he keeps his sources undisclosed. We ventured once more into the jungle. This time we were prepared. We had learned from our previous excursion, and we made our way across the river canyon, venturing deeper south than we had dared before. Eventually, we reached the ruins Alejandro sought, and soon we will enter what Alejandro believes is the main temple. Strangely, the serpent creatures we encountered earlier didn't attack in force as we had feared. Could they have fled? Or are they simply lying in wait, preparing to ambush while we sleep at night?
Something stirs. Despite Ichitaka's warnings, you've entered the ruins of the temple in search of ancient knowledge and artifacts. Into the ruins. After your hellish journey through the jungle, the quiet solitude of the temple ruins sows paranoia into your mind. Serpent eyes glare at you from the darkness. Every drop of water and fallen pebbles causes you to whirl about in search of danger. But the real danger is yet to come.
Alright, so we've got all four investigators here. Father Mateo's on the left, Agnes Baker's next to him, then Akachi, and then Marie. And we're going to be shuffling up the encounter deck as well as the exploration deck. And then we're going to be pulling our opening hand as well. In my experience, this scenario is insanely difficult. There is an option at the end to replay it. I do not have any plans to replay the scenario. So even if the investigators are defeated, I'm just going to choose the option where we move on. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to replay this and just suffer trauma and all that. So hopefully we do make it through. This is the first time that I'll be using the All Purple All the Time team as it was meant to be, with 4 investigators, all mystics. An all mystic team is kind of at a disadvantage as far as I think. And then throw on top of that the fact that 3 of the decks that I'm playing with today were built about a year ago. So there's a huge part of the card pool that wasn't available when these decks were built, and therefore they're using cards that were only available at the time. So there's a lot of newer cards that are pretty powerful and pretty effective, and specifically some of these specific investigators that are just not going to be used as of right now. But my strategy going in, I'm going to mulligan for at least 2 of the investigators. Hopefully can start off with Shriveling so that they can defend the rest of the group. The Ward of Protections I am saving for Entombed. That is a really, really nasty treachery in this scenario that can just basically end your run through it. What it does, it gets your investigator, you won't be able to move or disengage from enemies at all unless you succeed on a 4 test agility check, which is very difficult for all 3 of these investigators to succeed in. And it can take quite a few turns before you succeed. Without skill cards, pretty much we're going to depend on luck to pass those tests. And that's why Ward of Protection is extremely crucial here, to be able to negate the effects of pulling something like that right now. The other part of this strategy that I'll be using, I expect Agnes and Akachi to do all the combat and handle whatever monsters come our way. Marie will do all the heavy lifting for investigations, and Father Mateo will be there for support wherever he's needed. I mean, that's the plan at least, so hopefully it does work out that way. And for Marie, we're going to try and mulligan for a Rite of Seeking, because that's really going to help her. If not, at least maybe a flashlight or, something that'll help her in terms of investigations. So the decks are shuffled now. There's our scenario reference card. We all start at the entryway. So we're going to be using a marker from Sick Dave. This really cool marker and location connection markers. This will help us remember whose turn it is. So here we go. The sun sets over the temple ruins, bathing the stone in warm light. The sounds of the rainforest are distant by the time you cross underneath the painted entryway. Inside, the halls are plunged into darkness. Many hundreds of years ago, this temple might have been a bastion of beauty and reverence in this perilous jungle. So it's a 2-shroud, 1 clue per investigator location. We can resign from here, or we can use torches to look at the exploration deck. We don't have any torches, so we're just going to move on. So we'll now get our clues and set them on the location, and then we'll draw our opening hands and start the game proper. So all 4 investigators are starting there. So here's Mateo's opening hand. Guts, good. Clarity of mind, premonition, unexpected courage, and torn of power. Some great skill cards for this support deck, but I think that we're going to need assets to be able to be of more use here. And that's good, because it looks like we got some pretty good opening cards. Mainly Shriveling is one that we really needed. Counterspell is nice to have as well early on. an unexpected card. So we'll reshuffle these back into the deck, the ones that we mulligan, and we'll pull Agnes's opening hand. So, okay. Again, we're looking for an asset. Pain pills, okay. Well, we got a weapon, so we definitely want to keep that. I think I'll mulligan the rest in hopes of finding a spell here. Darn it. Well, at least the axe is going to help in combat right now, early until we can get a spell on the board. Not the ideal opening hand, but it'll have to do. Akachi better get something a little bit better. So that's a replacement right there. Okay. Delve Too Deep is not my favorite for an opening hand. But we did get Shriveling, so that's good. So we do have 2 investigators that can handle the combat early on. And until Agnes gets set up, Mateo can definitely help with that. So that's going to be fine. We're going to keep Shriveling and Rite of Seeking because, well, Rite of Seeking is could come in handy in case Marie doesn't get something good in her opening hand. So that we'll reshuffle the ones that we mulliganed. And now we're going to go for Marie and see what she did, what she gets. Okay, Clarity of Mind. Don't want the Baron. Wow. Man, some really bad first pulls for just about everybody. It's crazy. Have to mulligan quite a bit here. Okay, Flashlight. That'll be handy early on. Oh, good. Arcane Initiate. Okay, that's going to come in handy. Oh, and my signature card. Very cool. So, well, not the greatest. That Flashlight only has 3 charges, but at least it can help. With her 4 intellect, it'll suffice early on until we can get that spell. Luckily, we got the Arcane Initiate, so we'll be able to get a spell on board pretty quickly, I would suspect. Okay, so now that we've drawn our opening hands, we are ready to start the game. And I think we're going to jump right in, so we'll go ahead and start with Mateo. And Mateo is definitely going to play Shriveling as his first action. So we'll go ahead and put that right on the board. And grab our resources. Okay, 4 resources. And Shriveling comes on the board. 4 charges. Spend a charge you can fight with your willpower. And it does an extra damage. If you pull any of the bad symbol tokens, you take a horror. Okay. And Mateo, having experienced that dreadful defeat the night before, is bringing out his Codex of Ages. And the Codex of Ages will seal that Elder Sign token, but it'll give him a +1 to his willpower. Because it's a 4-player game, we don't want to keep that Elder Sign sealed under there for too long. So the plan is to use it very early on to get him an extra action and guarantee success on an early test. That way that Elder Sign can go right back in the bag. Alright. And for last action, we'll explore and we get Crypt Chill. Test 4 willpower. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If not, take 2 damage. Okay. So our willpower is 5. I think this is a good time to use the Codex and just succeed on the test. So a chill from the crypts below rushes through the air onto Father Mateo, and he prays with his Codex, banishing the chill. So doing this will get us an extra action, so that's going to definitely help. So we'll get rid of this and put this back in our little bag of chaos. And then let's go ahead and do this again. And this time we get a location that is connected. Very nice. So the exploration is a success, and Mateo will get to move there for free. And this is the Grand Chamber. 2 shroud, 1 clue per investigator. When you investigate, if you don't succeed by at least 2 before revealing any other facts, flip a clue onto its doom side. Holy moly, that's not going to be good. So in this scenario, doom on locations does not go away when the agenda advances, which is just brutal. I mean, it's you can lose a ton of turns, especially in a 4-player game in this scenario. That's why I just have a feeling it's going to go pretty badly. But that ends Mateo's turn. I don't think we'll be investigating there the traditional way, at least, because we can't risk having Doom just go on there like that. Alright, so now it is Agnes's turn. So Agnes has the fire axe, which she'll pull out right away. She brought that with her on her expedition into the jungle, and that'll help her survive until she gets a spell out on the board. So she pulls out her fire axe, and I think we're gonna move in with Mateo, and she starts exploring in the cavern. That's failed, and yeah, disconnected. Perfect. The Ancient Hall. At the end of the round, flip. Oh no, this place. Okay, so this location alone makes it a very difficult scenario. If you pull this location, it's 3 shroud, 2 clues per investigator. That means it's going to have 8 clues. Every turn, one of those clues turns into doom, and that doom doesn't go away. Again, the way the scenario works, it doesn't go away when the agenda advances. So we can avoid this happening by paying 3 resources, which will drain our resources very, very quickly. And after that, I mean, if we don't get these clues, we're going to have to do something, because this can end the game very quickly. So everyone's going to just have to move in here and do their part and try to gobble up these clues as quickly as possible. Wow, this is pretty rough. I can't believe that we pulled this location this early. That is not good. Okay, and that ends Agnes's turn. Yeah, not very productive. Okay, so now it's going to be Akachi's turn. So luckily she got Rite of Seeking. So I think for Akachi, instead of bringing out Shriveling, we're going to have to bring out Rite of Seeking just out of necessity because of this location being in play. So we play Rite of Seeking. It has 3 charges, 4 because Akachi gets an extra charge on it. You can investigate with your willpower instead of intellect, and you get 2 clues instead of 1. But if you pull a bad token, you have to lose an action. So it's best if you do it as the last action of your turn. Actually, if you pull a bad token, you end your turn immediately, which is really bad. Alright, so we're going to do test a 5 versus a 3. And here we go. Actually, let's see if we have anything else that can help us with this test. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and commit a Guts. Basically, it adds 2 willpower icons, and if you succeed, you draw a card, so that's handy. We'll go ahead and commit that to the test to ensure that we succeed on this one and gobble up 2 clues. So this puts us at a 7 versus 3. Much better odds. So yeah, I think that's all we're going to need to commit to it. So again, it's going to be a 7 versus 3. Kachi walks into the chamber and uses her arcane magic to find more clues as to what's going on, and she succeeds. So she finds some more information and shares it with the group. There we go, we got 2 clues. good start. Decent. Not bad. That ends her turn. So now we've got Marie. And luckily she's very good at investigating, so she can grab a couple more. So Marie... Yeah, I think it might be best to move into that ancient hall and get those as quickly as possible instead of the ones at the starting location. So Marie first will get her flashlight out to make it a little bit easier for her to find some of the clues that she's looking for. 3 supplies. You can spend 1 to reduce the shroud by 2. Definitely will be helpful. And then she's going to move into the ancient hall with the others. And she will use her flashlight. She will turn that on and investigate. Alright, so it'll be 4 versus 1. Let's do this. And she gets a... Oh, auto fail. Not good. Yeah. That's pretty bad. And she'll use another token, 4 versus 1. And that's going to be -1. So that's good enough. So we grab another clue. Wait. I moved here. Then I put there. That's 2. Then we use the okay, so wait a minute. I gotta put that clue back. Because that would be 4 actions. Oops, I almost took an extra action there. I'm glad I caught it. Glad I caught it, because can't do that. That ends her turn with that failure. Okay. Now we will draw cards for the round. Mateo, guts, okay. Somewhat productive round. Not too bad. So far, a decent start. Alright, so Kachi gets Fearless, and Marie, Fearless, okay. Well, at least Agnes got Water Protection, so that's pretty good. Now everybody gets a resource. Okay. And then we will end the turn, so now it goes to the Mythos phase. So one of these flips to a Doom. No, let's pay the resources. I think Agnes, we don't have any spells to play yet, so, and the Fire Axe works better with less resources. Yeah, it sucks to do it, but I can't afford to have a Doom on there that doesn't go away. This location is just brutal. Oh, I forgot to shuffle the exploration deck, so we'll just get that shuffled in real quick. Alright, encounter cards. Mateo, he gets a creature. It is a Fang of Yig, and it retaliates 1 damage, 1 horror, while Fang of Yig is engaged with a poison investigator. They can't play cards or commit cards to skill tests. That's pretty strong. Oh god. Well, luckily Mateo is not poisoned right now. He did use a medicine from last scenario. Lost in Time. Shuffle a non-story asset you control, moving all damage and horror to your investigator. Okay. Well, so much for Agnes's Fire Axe. There's no skill test here. It just does it. So there goes the Fire Axe back into my deck. Maybe reshuffling will help me get a spell out so Agnes can start doing some damage to these creatures that are starting to come out. Okay. Akachi. Yeah, so Akachi's going to make her pull, and she gets Deep Dark. Okay, so it goes next to the agenda. No more than 1 clue can be discovered from each location by each investigator each round. It goes away at the end of the round. Normally, this is one of the lighter punishments in the scenario, but with this location out, this is going to be rough. We need to get as many clues off of this as quickly as possible, so I think we're going to Water Protection. I was saving it for Entombed, but we're going to have to use our Water Protection to cancel this effect. We need to get these clues out of here as soon as possible. Hopefully I made the right decision here. So we got to put a horror on Akachi because of water protection, and there it goes. There's a lot of mystic cards that give them horror. Alright, and Marie pulls the serpent from Yoth. Oh god, it's a victory creature, so you know it's tough. So there are no vengeance points in the victory display right now, so it doesn't get any special abilities. Just 1 damage, 2 horror. We're going to have to take these guys out. And of course, this one's engaged to Marie, who doesn't have any way of dealing with it. So we're going to have to spend an action engaging it. And right now, Mateo is the only one who is equipped to do anything. I do have a Shriveling, but Akachi doesn't have enough resources to play it. So we're going to have to figure something out here. Okay. First things first, though. I think Mateo... Yeah, I think we're going to have to shrivel this thing. We'll have Mateo go first. So we'll use a shriveling charge. And we're going to commit Guts, which gives us 2 willpower icons for the skill test. And you get a card. You get to draw a card if you succeed. So here we go. 6 versus 3. Let's do this. Alright, Elder Sign. Sweet. So it's going to take 2 damage. Very nice. And we're going to just gain an extra action. So Mateo prays for the power to banish these blasphemous creatures, and begins to do so. Mateo's going to do it again. So shriveling, another charge. And I think we're just going to go for a straight check. So it's going to be a 4 versus 3. And before I forget, actually, I got to draw a card from Guts. So, oh, cool, Torrent of Power. Very nice. Okay, and we're going to commit Unexpected Courage, which gives us 2 wild icons. We're going to use them for willpower icons. So that'll make it a 6 versus 3. And the Chaos Bag. Please be nice again. That's a cultist. Okay. Number of locations with Doom. That's none. So we pass. So he dies. Okay. So we still have 2 actions left since we pulled the Elder Sign. We'll move in. We're gonna shrivel this guy. Let's just give it a shot. Because if I just engage, it's going to be a waste, because he's going to just hit me next round, or during his turn. Akachi assists Mateo. You can do this, Mateo, and makes him fearless, granting him an additional willpower icon. Mateo, by the power of Christ! He goes and attempts to shrivel the creature that is attacking Marie with Akachi's support. Actually, let's have someone else support as well. So we have Unexpected Courage, which Agnes is going to be able to assist with. So that's going to bring us up to a 7 versus 3. Yep, it's going to be a 3. So Agnes sees Akachi helping Mateo and the power of Mateo, and they all pray together. And that is a... pull another token. If we fail, we get a Doom on the location, which is not good. And we pull a -3. That's good enough. All right. So with all their help, Akachi, in prayer, feels much better mentally now that she sees Mateo actually hurting these things with his power. So 2 damage goes to that creature. All right. And that ends Mateo's turn. So he'll take, can't forget to add the horrors when I pull special tokens using shriveling. That's an unfortunate side effect of that spell. We need to get Agnes some stuff, so we're going to draw a card. Peter Silvestri, he's helpful. We just don't have anything good here. Do we draw? Okay. Well, Storm of Spirits, it's good for a one-time use, but man, do we use our third action on this? She can't really do much. She'll engage him. I guess we can use her ability if he hits her to damage it. So something helpful, I guess, with that. We need to get some good cards for Agnes on the board to help her fight. Right now she is pretty helpless and useless. It's rough for Mystics when they don't have anything on the board. Alright, Akachi is, she needs to get something to do some damage as well. So we're going to have to use some actions to get a resource. And we're going to cast Shriveling, or play Shriveling. So we've used 2 actions to gain resources and played Shriveling, which comes in with 5 charges, which is really nice and definitely necessary right now. Unfortunately, there's not much else that we can do to hurt this thing right now. We're just going to have to take some damage this round and move forward from there. Alright. And that's Marie's turn. Kachi's turn. Now it's Marie's turn. So we still have to get the clues out of here. So we're going to just use her to investigate. Okay. And we'll use the flashlight. So 4 versus 1. The shroud goes down to 1 while using the flashlight. So here we go. Nice. Elder Sign. Too bad Marie's Elder Sign ability is not that great when there's nothing with Doom in play in her board, in her area. Alright, let's do this again. So it's going to be 4 versus 1 again. Gotta get these clues. I need a faster way to get them. Oh god, that is not good enough. And it uses a charge from the flashlight. Okay, things are already starting to look a little rough here. We're out of charges, so we're just going to do it straight. So 4 versus 3. It's kind of a long shot. And we pull... Nope, not good enough. Alright, so that ends everybody's turn. So now it's the enemy phase. So this guy is going to attack Agnes. But Marie is going to have to... She's going to try and prevent it with some of her mystical power. She's going to play Hypnotic Gaze and try and hypnotize it. So we're going to cancel the attack. Now we get to pull random chaos token. And if we pull a special token, the damage the creature does, it does it to itself. Please. We did pull one. So there it goes. So he does 1 damage to himself. Very cool. Mystics do have a few tricks up their sleeves. I mean, they sometimes, like, look what's going on with Agnes. She has no way to defend herself or investigate. She's kind of useless without any assets on the board. So that's the hardest part about playing Mystics. And when you have a party of all Mystics, if they all get kind of bad hands, it makes it a little bit more rough. Not that happened here. Some had pretty good hands, but Agnes is right now just struggling to get her footing. So far nothing that can really help much, but I think we can get rid of this guy this round without an issue and continue to investigate and get these clues off of this stupid location. Alright, so resources. So that's the round. It is Mythos phase. And let me think, did I miss anything? Doom on the agenda. Yeah, this. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, so this gets a Doom. This is really bad because this doesn't go away. As much as I hate to do this, I think I'm going to have to use the 3 resources to cancel it again. I don't know that I'll be able to afford it next round, but resource-wise, it's not something we can afford, but at the same time, we most definitely cannot afford to have Doom on there. Each Doom that gets placed on there is 12 actions that we lose, and that's permanent because it doesn't reset, so it could be more than 12 actions. It could be 24 actions. So you got to think about it that way, you know. So we pull an Obscuring Fog in Mateo's location, and that is just not what we needed on this location right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Agnes pulls Ancestral Fear. It's got Surge. So you have to either place a Doom on location or place this on the victory display. Well, that is a no-brainer. It's going in the victory display. And it surges, so we pull another card. And that is... okay. No big deal. It's not going to affect Agnes at all. It's Snake Scourge. So basically, it goes into your threat area. She's not poisoned, so it doesn't surge. Every item is blank. At the end of the round, it goes away. Big deal. If she had her Fire Axe, that would suck. And Kachi gets a Brood of Yig, which is a hunter, deals 1 damage and 1 horror. And Marie gets a Tear in Time. Test 3 willpower. For each point you fail by, lose 1 action or take 1 horror. Okay. Yeah, well, willpower is Mystic's forte, so it's right now it's going to be a 4 versus 3, but Agnes is going to help with the guts, so it's going to be 6 versus 3. And Chaos Bag, nice, another Elder Sign. Marie's pulled 2 of them. It's just too bad that Elder Sign isn't really going to do much for her. I wish it would be Mateo pulling that, or Akachi. Okay, so Agnes gets something that's really going to help her. Because you can gain resources and take a horror, which will then help to deal some damage. So, it might come in handy. Alright. Mateo's turn. We have 1 charge left on Shriveling, so I think Mateo's going to take the risk and engage the creature here, take him away from Agnes, and try and shrivel this thing with his last charge. So let's do this. Creatures are just going to keep coming here, so we need to be prepared. Akachi luckily has 5 charges right now. And that's really, really going to be helpful. And she's probably going to go through them pretty quickly, to be honest. I didn't want to have to do this, but Marie's going to commit a Fearless to Mateo's test. It's going to waste the healing of the horror because she doesn't have any horror on her. But it's necessary. 5 versus 3. And the Chaos Bag is being nice to us. Look at that, a 0. So... that's good enough. There's no horror for her to heal, but this thing is now in the victory display. Whew! Mateo is out of charges for Shriveling, unfortunately, so it's up to Akachi to deal with whatever enemies come our way. And coincidentally, Akachi is the only one who can pick up clues right now reliably, because she is the only one with the Rite of Seeking. Since Mateo's Shriveling is out of charges, he's going to sacrifice it so he can gain resources or draw cards. Sacrifice is a new card as of the recording of this video, and I really like it, especially for this deck. So we'll draw a card, we get Counterspell, Premonition, and another Shriveling. Yes! Sacrifice comes in clutch. Mateo is able to get another shriveling, and we'll be able to put it on the table next round. Very cool. So yeah, Sacrifice is, I think, a little underrated, but it's important to note that Mystics don't really have much in terms of card draw or resource generation. So a card like that will help you, just get rid of things that have like no charges left, and so they're useless anyways, and they can help you. So yes, Agnes gets her fire axe. Whew. So she's gonna go ahead and play that. Back on the board, she pulls her fire axe. She's found it. She had lost it in the caverns. Sorry for that hard cut, guys. I was playing and didn't notice that I was recording with my phone and didn't notice that that national emergency alert came through and stopped my recording. So luckily I caught it when it wasn't too far in. All right, so Akachi is going to shrivel this guy. 5 versus 2. And we pull a skull. Okay, so skull is a -1. If there's doom on the agenda, on the location, then it's -3. So we get him. 2 damage to you, buddy. 3 versus 2. She's gonna punch him. I don't want to waste a shriveling charge when he's only got 1 health left. It's annoying, but these things have 3 health. It's kind of annoying. So again, it's 3 versus 2. And punch him in the face with a skull. That's a -1. Hey, number needed. Look at that, buddy. Okay, so he goes down. Whew. Okay, so far we've been doing okay, but we really need to speed up the gathering of the clues here. She has 1 action left. We're going to go ahead and use Rite of Seeking. 5 versus 5. Oh boy. If we succeed, we'll pick up 2 clues. Which is really nice. If we pull a special token, it ends Akachi's turn, but it doesn't matter. And as much as I hate to do this, I think Agnes is going to commit a Fearless. Again, she doesn't have any horror to heal, which it would have been nice to be able to do that, but whatever. It's a nice problem to have, I guess. And let's see what else we can commit here. Blinding Light. So that'll get us to a 6 versus 5. And we need to get these clues out of here as soon as possible. So hopefully we can succeed with this. It's still a pretty tight test. Chaos Bag. A skull. All right. Yes. All right. Whew. This goes away. And we get 2 clues. So that leaves only 3 left. Still can be devastating if we don't do anything about those 3. Because those 3 can turn to 3 permanent doom, which would be 36 or 72 actions that we lose. Once the agenda flips, that's another 12, for each doom. So we double it. Each doom can be up to 24 actions lost. It's crazy. This scenario is crazy. Other scenarios where doom isn't permanent, they'll take 12 actions solid, but this one can take more than that. And I think there's 2 agendas. If there's 3 agendas, then it's triple the amount. Anyways, let's get some more. 4 versus 3. And Chaos Bag says, nice. It's the 3rd Elder Sign Marie has pulled. I really wish Mateo or Akachi would be the ones pulling it. Anyways, Marie needs to get some spells because she's out of flashlight charges. So let's get the Arcane Initiate into play. Here we go. And she keeps pulling the Elder Sign. Then we could get Doom off of this Initiate. So that would have been helpful at that time. Alright, so Doom on the Initiate, and we're going to immediately exhaust her so we can start searching for a spell. So exhausted, and we pull 1, 2, no spells. Wow. Man, rough hand for Marie, man. Well, at least we get to reshuffle this thing and try again. Okay. One action left. Let's do it again. So we're going to go ahead and investigate back over here. 4 versus 3. And the chaos bag. Oh, God. Okay, so not good enough. So there's 2 clues still on there. One of them is going to flip into a doom this round. So turn ends. There are no bad guys. And we get to draw our cards and get our resources. So everybody flips over. So in case any of you are wondering, Marie's back is showing Roland, and that's because I don't actually own Marie. She was a promotional investigator that hasn't been released yet, so I currently have proxied her to be able to use her. And I slipped her mini, I printed on a piece of paper, and I slipped it into the sleeve of a Roland mini. I have a ton of extra Roland minis, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and draw our cards. Okay. Our prophecy shriveling, finally, and doesn't have the resources to pay for it. Kachi gets... Okay, drawn to the flame. Would have been useful. And Old Book of Lore, okay. Oh, sorry, that's medical text, not Old Book of Lore. Gain our resources. Well, at least Agnes still has that fire axe, so I can't put shriveling out this round, but the fire axe, at least she can defend herself a little bit with it. And now let's draw our encounter cards. And Mateo gets Curse of Yig. He gets -1 fight and health, and Serpentine. He can test willpower to get rid of it. But it takes an action and a test. And Agnes gets another Brood of Yig. Okay. 2, 3, 2. 1 damage, 1 horror. These guys are getting really annoying. Akachi... Final mistake. 2 agility. Gets +1 difficulty for each doom on your location. Take 2 damage if you fail. Oh, I forgot to put the doom on the location. I can't stop this one. So there you go, 24 actions. And final mistake. Let's see. 3 versus 2. Oh, actually, 3 versus 3. I don't have anything that can help me, so we're just gonna have to run this way. Okay. We're gonna go straight. 3 versus 3. And Chaos Bag says... Cultist. Oh boy. Mateo's gonna react, so he's gonna go ahead and call on his power. Counterspell. So we get to cancel the token and its modifiers. So Akachi actually succeeds. Looks like it wasn't her final mistake, huh? Alright, so good enough. Fair. Oh man. Alright, Marie's turn. So she gets... Oh no. Entombed. Cannot disengage from enemies or move. This is the dreaded card of this scenario. And you have to test 4 agility to escape. Agility or combat, which none of the mystics really have that high of. Oh boy. Okay. Do I have a way to cancel this? I don't think so. Great. That is not a good thing for her to have on her. We'll just have to deal with it, I guess. Another way. Well, she can't move, but she can investigate, so we need to get that clue. So we'll go ahead and do that one, so it's going to be 4-3. Okay. Marie is entombed, but somehow still able to search around this ancient hall and look for some more clues. And I think we're going to commit scrying just to help us get this final clue, because that's just more trouble if that turns into a doom. So we'll commit scrying. 5 versus 3. Alright, and what does the Chaos Bag say? It is a cultist. That's one location, so that's a -1, so we get it. Whew, that is a huge load off. We get that final clue, so we don't have to worry about this thing turning into doom anymore. But now we'll have to deal with the entombed over here. So it's going to be a 3 versus 4. And the Chaos Bag. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have pulled such a tough test. That's a skull. -3. We fail. And the doom goes on the location anyways. Well, we gotta try it again. 3 versus 3. And it is a cultist. That's a failure. And Marie remains entombed. And that ends her turn. So she stays entombed through next turn, and it's probably going to take a full turn for her to get out of that, or more. Okay, so things are starting to look a little rough, and now there's a lot of doom in play. So Mateo will use 2 actions to gain 2 resources, because we're going to have to play Shriveling here. We need to be able to defend ourselves. So Shriveling, again, 4 charges, and it goes right back into play. Mateo is ready for the blasphemous creatures. And that ends his turn. So next, we're going to go with Agnes. She's got to deal with this guy. So she has the fire axe. She's going to use a resource to attack him. It's going to be 4 versus 2. And the Chaos Bag pull says 0. Nice. Alright, so she hacks at this guy, nails him right on the shoulder blade, and she swings again. It's going to be 2 versus 2. Fire axe. Attack. 2 versus 2. Please be nice, Chaos Bag. And cultist. Oh, God. Alright, we do it again. 2 versus 2. Chaos Bag. Oh. Well, that sucked. Akachi's gonna take him and try to just punch him. It's gonna be a straight check. I hate these, but whatever. It has to be done. I can't waste a charge. Can't afford to. Boy. So it's gonna be 3 versus 2. And we pull a skull. God. So -3. That's not good enough. We fail. So we do it again. And we pull another skull. My goodness. These guys are such a problem all the time. It happened to me last scenario where the one guy who wasn't even that hard to hit. Alright. Let's do it one more time. It's going to be 3 versus 2. Okay, and come on, bag, be nice. 0, nice. Whew, good enough. Wow, this guy was such a problem, man. Alright. That ends her turn. Well, that's her job, is to kill things, so I don't feel like that was wasted, but still. That is the round for us. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doom on the board. Draw cards. Guts. Oh, God. Dark Memory. Place 1 doom on the agenda. you got to pay 2 resources and spend an action to play it, and you still place a Doom. Oh, God. And if this stays in our hand, we take 2 horror every round. Well, that sucks. She takes 2 horror. So Marie pulls... Okay, so this isn't really a knife. This is a proxy for Hypnotic Gaze. I just didn't have an extra one. Because I mostly buy 2 of each pack, but for whatever reason, I only bought 1 copy of the pack that includes Hypnotic Gaze, so I only had 2 copies. So I had to, because of, having to pre-build 5 Mystic decks, some of the cards ran thin, including this one, so I had to proxy it. Okay, Doom, another Doom on the agenda. So agenda's going to be at 4 Doom. And we draw our first encounter card, and Mateo gets a Brood of Yig. Well, he can handle it because he's got his shriveling out. Not a huge deal. Agnes gets... Oh, this thing again. Deep Dark. Can't discover more than 1 clue per investigator per round. And that's fine. Not a big deal. Oh, Tearing Time. Akachi's going to have to test Willpower 3. For each point she fails by, she either loses an action or takes horror. 5 versus 3. I don't think we really need to commit anything to this. So let's just pull it and see what we get. So, 0. Nice. Okay. She passes that test. And then Marie, Serpent's Call, must either get poisoned or draw the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Neither one is very, very nice. And there's no skill check on this. It's just a bad thing either way. I don't know if I want to draw 2 encounter cards. As much as poison sucks, I know this is kind of short-sighted, but I'm gonna have to go with poisoned. Poisoned. So it's a permanent. It just goes right in the deck. Right now, there's nothing bad that happens from it, but pretty much each scenario in this campaign is going to have a negative effect when you're poisoned. Marie is not having a good time in these ruins at all. She's entombed. She is not poisoned. Things are not going well for Marie. But she hasn't taken any damage or horror, so that's good. Agnes will go first. Yeah. So she is going to play her Dark Memory just to get rid of it because she can't keep taking horror. Losing everybody some more turns. So, again, 24 turns lost. Or 24 actions. So Agnes is going to play Forbidden Knowledge. Uses 4 secrets. Each time you use one is a free action. You take a horror and gain a resource. This is great for her because when she takes horror, she can dish out damage. She doesn't even have to be engaged with the creature in order to deal damage to it. Just has to be in the same location. So we're going to go ahead and gain a resource and deal damage to the Brood of Yig. So Agnes takes she's got 3 horror now, and still no spell for her, which is unfortunate. Alright, so that does her turn, and we're going to go with Akachi. She'll engage this guy. Akachi has higher willpower, so it's going to be easier for her to kill it. So she uses a shriveling charge, and she's going to go at it. It's going to be a 5 versus 2. And, oh no. Oh no, it's an autofail. Oh. Akachi tried to call on her spirits for guidance to kill this thing and ended up seeing something she didn't want to see. Shrivel it again. 5 versus 2 again. And let's see what comes out. Oh my god. I swear, I threw the capsule back inside and took my hand out, so I wasn't holding it again. Another horror for her. Let's shake this up. Man, these guys are always a problem for me. I don't know why. Using up all my charges, man. Alright. 5 versus 2 again. And let's really move these coins around in there, just to make sure we don't pull another auto fail. Okay. Chaos Bag says, oh, jeez, man. 3 charges spent on nothing. This is crazy. Mateo's going to have to take him back. Alright, so let's go ahead and put him... actually here, we got to do one thing first. Let's go ahead and gain a resource as an action. Then we'll go ahead and engage the guy. Okay, and we'll use shriveling. There's a reason I'm doing this, just in case. It's a precaution. So, we're going to commit guts to the test so that we can get 2 additional will icons. That'll put us at a 6 versus 2. And the Chaos Bag will tell us that we got -2. That's good enough. Whew. Okay. Man, these guys, man, they always give me so much trouble, and they're not really that difficult. But last scenario, it took like 2 rounds to kill one. It just, for some reason, in this scenario, it's turning out to be the same thing. These guys are just giving me a lot more trouble than they should. It's crazy. Alright, so now Marie's turn, and she's in tune, so I think we need to get rid of this. Let's just do 3 tests and try to get rid of it. So the first test is going to be a failure, which will be a 4 versus, or a 3 versus 4. We're not going to commit anything because we're going to fail this one. And 0. Oh my god. Had we committed, we would have made it. So anyways, do it again. 3 versus 3. Okay, and we pull a 0. Okay. Well, that's good. I guess the only thing left to do here is to go exploring. So she's going to explore. And we get Ill Omen. Choose a location where there's at least 1 investigator. Oh my god. No. And it doesn't even give you a test. It just takes actions from you. This is... Some of the cards in this scenario can be fairly frustrating because you don't stand a chance. They don't give you a test, nothing. It's crazy. So there we go. Doom. That means we just lost, again, 24 actions. And everybody takes a horror, as if losing 24 actions wasn't bad enough. Alright, so horror is starting to grow. We're going to have to manage this somehow. And we do have clarity of mind that we can be playing here. So I think we may need to play that soon. Marie gets a spell. This counts. So we'll keep that in our hand. And we reshuffle the rest into the deck. That Arcane Initiate is handy, but I still haven't been able to pull an actual spell that I'm looking for. Okay. Turn's end. There's no bad guys, so everybody readies. We each draw a card. And then we get a resource. So Mateo pulls Water Protection. Okay. Helpful. Agnes. Forbidden Knowledge. Don't need that. Akachi. Okay. I mean, we can commit that for 2 willpower. And another ward. Okay. Well, Ward of Protections are coming out. So this is going to be really helpful during the Mythos phase as a bunch of treacheries that we don't want, will be able to get rid of, like this Ill Omen one. And we each get a resource. Alright. End of the turn. So now, Mythos phase. So we need to grab a Doom and add that to the agenda. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. And this thing goes away, actually, this Deep Dark that I forgot about. Okay, so first, and that's going to be Obscuring Fog. Don't care. We've already gotten all the clues out of here, so it can be on there. That's fine. I wish every card left in that encounter deck was just an Obscuring Fog, to be honest. Alright, next draw. Agnes gets Crypt Chill. So she needs to test 4 willpower, or she gets to discard her Fire Axe again. Willpower is 5 versus 4. Alright, she gets it. -1. So, Akachi, she gets the Tear in Time, tests 3 willpower for each point, lose 1 action or take a horror. She has a 5 versus 3. Do we need to commit anything? There's an odd number of Doom on the location. Skull. Okay, so that's a -3. We actually fail. And final mistake. Great. Test 2. And it has already, for each Doom, it gets an additional +1 in difficulty, so there's 3. Well, I don't want to deal with this, so I think we're going to Ward of Protection. I'd much rather take a Doom than take 2 damage, because I know what's coming next round, so I can't, I gotta be clear of damage right now. So I'd hate to use my ward on that, but I kind of had to. Uh-oh. Shoot, I forgot about this guy. Oh my god. I forgot about the Arcane Initiate. This agenda is going to advance right now. Well, there goes that. Doom on location stays. The Doom on the Initiate goes away. Got that. And, well, agenda advances. So, something stirs, and now the ruins awaken. Just then, a sound thrums in the walls of the temple, a dull humming similar to that of a generator. Grooves in the walls and the ceiling flicker and start to glow. It is as though the temple is alive and it senses your presence. The strange statues and carvings you've seen, coupled with the dim glow and the power coursing through the walls, makes it clear that this temple isn't Aztec in origin. In fact, it appears to be from an even older, more ancient civilization altogether. You feel as though you are an intruder in a world and you cannot begin to understand. Confirming your worst fears, a loud hiss and rattling echoes throughout the temple. Whatever you just woke up, it's not happy to see you. Spawn the Harbinger of Velusia at the location with the most doom. Here we go. Alright. And the next agenda. The Temple Gordon. The serpent creature emerges from the shadows with terrifying speed. It is bedecked in gilded feathers and wields a golden spear, the blade tip unravaged by time. The ravel at the end of the creature's tail produces a tremendous noise as the creature hunts you throughout the ruins. And we are in for quite the ride right now. Okay, so the clock is now working completely against us. Things have now turned completely upside down, and they're really bad because this thing has been released. The Harbinger of Velusia. 3 fight, 3 evade, 10 health per investigator, so it has 40 health, alert, hunter, and retaliate. It can retaliate while it's exhausted, and if it's attacked or evaded, you get to place a resource. If it has 8 resource on it, it vanishes with a sinister hiss. 2 damage, 2 horror. Fun times. And guess what location has the most doom? The one that everybody's in. So this thing just appears and just starts attacking. Or we start attacking it. So we've been saving up cards just for this moment. So let's see if we can take this thing out, because it is a tough one. Alright, so who do we make the first investigator to go? Okay, he will appear engaged to Akachi. She'll go first. Okay. She's going to shrivel him. 5 versus 3. Away, creature! Away! Okay. And she's going to commit for 2 willpower icons. She will commit Uncage the Soul. 7 versus 3. And... come on. Skull. That's a -3. That's still good enough. Alright, so she deals 2 damage and it gains a resource. Okay. We are out of shriveling charges, so now we have to figure out what we're going to do. Because it retaliates and it's alert, and any other action, it'll gain an attack of opportunity. So, we're going to spend a resource, or 2 resources, and cast Blinding Light. So, we're going to get to evade it using our willpower. And if we succeed, we deal 1 damage. So, has a resource. Okay, so that's going to make it a 5 versus 3. Alright, so Akachi just uses her spirit power to cast a blinding light at this creature. Alright. Please succeed. Agnes actually is going to help Akachi. I'll help you, Akachi. And she's going to commit the Storm of Spirits for willpower icon. Cool. So it's going to be a 6 versus 3. Okay. Be nice, Chaos Bag. 0. Nice. So the light shines from Akachi's hands, so bright the creature is blinded. It is now thrashing about, exhausted. And I believe that ends Akachi's turn. Oh, actually, no. We got one more thing we can do. So it is evaded. Now, here's the thing. I'm not quite sure how this works. If you can evade an evaded creature and just use up an action that way. So if you have the answer to that, please let me know below in the comments, because I'm not quite sure. We're going to punch it 3 versus 3 right now. Use Unexpected Courage to give us 2 wild icons, 2 combat icons. So it's going to be a 5 versus a 3. So that's 5 versus 3. Let's shake this up and get a good one. Number of locations with Doom. That's 1. Yeah. Sweet. So Akachi's able to punch it while it's thrashing about blindly, and it gets another resource. Alright. Agnes will go next. So it's got 4 damage on it, 3 resources. It needs 5 more resources, and then it goes away. Agnes has her fire axe, so that'll definitely help. And she's going to go ahead and hit it. She'll spend a resource to boost her combat value. So it's 4 versus 3. Okay. But before we do that, we're actually going to spend a resource and play Fight or Flight. Fast play during your turn. Until the end of the round, you get plus X combat and agility, where X is the amount of horror on you. Right now she has 4 horror on her. So boom. So that's going to add 4 to it. So that'll make it a 8 versus 3. I think those are some pretty good odds. Agnes is such a killer. The skull, no biggie. She hacks away at it as it's still blind and thrashing about. Doing 2 more damage, or 1 more damage, and it gains a resource. So we'll do it again. 8 versus 3. So that fight or flight lasts the whole round, which is pretty awesome. Another skull, again, perfect. It takes 2 more damage. So now it has 8 damage and 5 resources on it. Hey, so far the team's doing pretty well. Okay, who will be the next one to take some shots at this thing? I'm just picturing Akachi uses this blinding, she shrivels it, then uses this blinding magical light, and it's just covering its eyes as it's thrashing about, and everyone's just running up to it and hacking away at it. Marie is going to use her special ability from her Arcane Initiate, and still nothing good. Her deck is getting slim, and I still have not gotten any of the good spells that I need. This is pretty incredible. I shuffled her deck very well before the game. I don't know what the heck is going on. Alright, so Mateo will be next. He's going to engage it, and he runs up to it now, and he's going to start to shrivel it. Alright, so he spends a charge of shriveling, and 4 versus 3. I think we're going to use... Marie's going to commit the book for the willpower icon, bring us to a 5 versus 3, and Mateo will fulfill the Dark Prophecy. Pay 1 resource. Dark Prophecy lets you reveal 5 chaos tokens instead of 1, and you can pick 1 with a special symbol to resolve and ignore all the rest. So that'll improve our chances of dealing some damage to this thing. 1, okay. Don't like that one. Okay, 0. Yeah. Uh-oh. Whew, okay, so that's good. That's a skull. So, skull is a -3, which is still a failure, and also it would give us a horror. So I think we're going to spend 2 resources, and we're going to counterspell. Boom. So counterspell cancels the effects of a special token and its negative modifier. So we succeed on the test. We still take a horror, though. I think that's how it's played, and that's how I'm going to play it. If you know the answer, please let me know below. But because we still revealed a special token, we'll take a horror. But Velusia, the Harbinger, takes damage and a resource. Tails at 4 horror now. Okay, we're almost there. We are almost there. 2 more resources. We're going to shrivel it again. This time we're going to use Premonition. That way we know if we should be committing. We're low on cards that we can commit. Premonition is fast. We can play it and seal a token on it. And next time we reveal a token, we use the one that's sealed on it. So basically we know what we're going to pull before we perform the test. So let's do, oh, it's a 0. Look at that. Okay. So now we can freely use our shriveling and hit it, and we don't have to commit any cards because we already know we're going to pull a 0. So it gets a resource, takes 2 damage. Very nice. I love Premonition. I think it's one of the best Mystic cards to come out of this cycle. It's really amazing. All right, final shriveling. Let's see. What else can we do here? I'd hate to do this, but I do need to improve my odds, unfortunately. So we're going to just commit Torrent of Power, and it's got just a wild icon on it. I have to use charges to use more than that, and I don't have charges that I can use up. So we're going to go a 1, so that's going to be a 5 versus a 3. And the Chaos Bag says -3. That's not good. It retaliates. Hits me. Ouch. Ouch. That stung pretty bad. This thing is really difficult. So Marie's going to try to take him out by evading him, because she doesn't have any way to fight him. Her combat's a 1. So you can, again, please answer if you know the answer, but I think I can still engage him and evade him. Which will be an even shot here. If I'm not allowed to evade an evaded creature or an exhausted creature, please let me know, because then that means I'm playing this wrong. I don't really, there's nothing that boosts agility in this, in my hand, or in this deck. I think there's 2 or 3 cards. So we're going to have to use Hypnotic Gaze. That one does have an agility icon. That's my proxy. So here's the real one. So yeah, it's got an agility icon. So, and then my signature card has 2 wild icons. We're going to commit it for 3. So that's going to be 6 versus 3. Decent odds. Even if we pull a skull, we're going to get this. Let's do it. Oh, even a cultist will still get it. So pretty much the auto fail is the only thing, or the -5 are the only things that can derail us here. And we get oh, -5. So I don't know how this works. If it's exhausted and it can retaliate, does alert still work? It doesn't say it's still alert, but if I can't evade an exhausted creature, then it's a moot point. So I'm confused. I'm just going to play it this way. Because, you know, it's exhausted from the blinding light, but I'm trying to evade it. Let's see, it says it can retaliate while exhausted, but it doesn't say it can alert while exhausted. I don't know. We'll just have to play it how we think it works, and then figure it out after the fact. Just in case, we'll take our damage in horror. And if it wasn't supposed to use as alert, then whatever, you know? Whatever. Alright, so we gotta do something to get rid of this guy. I guess we'll try to evade him again. We'll just do it again. 3 versus 3. It's gonna be a straight shot. No, I don't know what to do here. Let's... Okay. We're going to pay 2 resources to play Medical Text. Since it's exhausted, whatever. I guess I don't have to do anything to it. I can just set up. Yeah. So I think that does it for my turn. We'll draw a card, and it's a magnifying glass. So It's not going to attack us this turn because it's exhausted. It'll just ready. And then we'll draw our cards and gain our resources. Hopefully we get something that can help us, but either way, Akachi, I think, can still take him out. If not, then Agnes certainly can. So either way, I think we're going to be able to do this. So he just will engage Agnes. Alright, find clothes from Mateo. Agnes gets shriveling. Finally. Akachi gets unexpected courage. There we go. That's what we needed. The unexpected courage, we can commit to whatever test against this thing and be able to take him out. So that's fine. He's going down this round. Okay. So this is an Agnes's hand. Decent hand, but we don't have the resources. Mateo's hand. So now it is the end of the turn, and it has become the Mythos phase. We will add a Doom to the agenda. Doom is at 4 now. And draw our cards. Snake Scourge. Why can't they all be Snake Scourge? No big deal. So Mateo gets that, and then Agnes. Creeping Poison. Surge. Each investigator who's poisoned takes a damage. That would be Marie. Marie is poisoned. Takes a damage. Just like that. And then Akachi, or actually that was a surge. So Fang of Yig retaliates. Okay, so he goes on Agnes. Akachi gets her card. Curse of Yig, -1. Combat -1 health, and she can test 2 to get out of it. 2 combat. Creeping Poison. Okay, so Marie, again, the poison that's coursing through her body is starting to take a toll on her. And then Marie's card, second card, Ill Omen. Place 1 Doom on the location, and each investigator takes 1 horror. She's going to Water Protection. We can't afford any more Doom on locations. And this Elder Thing token, when it comes out, it adds Doom to the location if you fail. I anticipate at least 1 or 2 more Doom being added before the scenario ends. So Marie will take 1 for the team, take a horror, and cancel that out. So that last round took a lot out of us. We are depleted. Between cards that we had been saving up, skill cards, cards we could commit, resources, you name it, we're completely depleted. I think we're going to be able to kill this guy this round. He only takes 1 more hit and he'll be gone. But even though he's the toughest part of the scenario, we are behind because of the amount of Doom that's in play. So that's really not going to help. And the creatures don't stop coming. I mean, we're going to have creatures on us every round. So, that's only going to serve to slow us down even further. So we need to get moving. I think Agnes spend a resource to boost the Fire Axe, and then it's going to be a 4. We're going to use Unexpected Courage to commit it for 2 more wild icons. That'll bring us up to a 6 versus a 3. So let's go ahead and run this test. And it says, nice, all right. Elder Sign, sweet. So the Harbinger vanishes in a puff of smoke. He has been banished by our team of intrepid mystics. Look at this amount of damage that they've dealt to this thing. And it's not even halfway, down on its health. So when it comes back later, I mean, it's still going to have 22 health. That's insane. I mean, I'm honestly pretty proud of the amount of damage that the team of Mystics was able to dish out in just one round, pretty much. So that's pretty incredible. I'm happy about that. Even if we don't make it through to the end, the fact that we defeated that thing in one round is pretty impressive, with very, very minimal damage, no casualties. I mean, you name it, it's pretty awesome. Anyways, so Agnes is still engaged with an enemy, so she's going to go ahead and hit it with the fire axe. 2 versus 3. This is it's not an easy test, but I have nothing. I can use for it. We're depleted. This thing took everything that we had. I think the best course here is going to be to evade him. So we're going to evade him 3 versus 3. Because he retaliates, so if we go an even or below, then it's going to be bad. So -2, that's a failure. We'll do it again. 3 versus 3. And we pull a 0. Nice. Okay, he's evaded. Yeah, that thing retaliates. We can't really afford to take hits from that thing. So she ends her turn. Now we're gonna Kachi. I think she's gonna end up moving. Yeah, she'll move over to this other location because she can pick up a couple of those clues without penalty. All right, that's gonna be the deal here. We're gonna use Drawn to the Flame. So as Akachi enters that room, she just uses her spirit power to lead her and guide her into the clues. She pulls 2 encounter cards. First one is Ancestral Fear, and it has Search. So, not placing a Doom on the agenda, it goes into Vengeance. And then Lost in Time, she has to sacrifice a non-story asset back into her deck. In a way, we'll do Shriveling, because in a way that's actually really helpful. Shriveling was almost completely used up, so this will get us another use of it if we're able to pull it. Not bad. Okay, I'll take that. So she grabs her 2 clues. And Akachi will use her Rite of Seeking. She performs her little rite right in the middle of the floor. 5 versus 2. Alright, so let's see what the Chaos Bag has to say. And it says... Oh, -5. Okay. Well, that did not work, so that ends Akachi's turn, and let's see, who will go next? Man, things are starting to unravel for us here. Mateo is almost gone insane, and Marie is almost dead and gone insane. Luckily, she has her Arcane Initiate that she can sacrifice to the evil creatures. And nothing. Man, Marie still has not pulled a Rite of Seeking or Shriveling. I don't know what is going on. I mean, they're in the deck. I can assure you of that. Oh, man. Well, Marie's going to move to the entryway and pick up some clues there. That way we can advance this act. 4 versus 2. Let's do it. 0. Okay, good. So she gets a clue. Yeah, because we need to get moving with this act. Yep. Do it again. I'm an idiot. I should have played this beforehand. I didn't realize I had it in my hand. So I have a magnifying glass. She's going to play it. It's a fast action. It gives her +1 intellect while investigating. Oh my god. I don't know why. 5 versus 2. Ah, again. Elder Sign. I mean, I'm happy I got it, but... This is her 4th Elder Sign pull this game. Meanwhile, Akachi and Mateo are the ones who really could use it right now. Darn it. And let's see, should we explore from over there? If you don't succeed, at least 2. So I don't know what this means. This is the question here. She failed the test, so that means she did not succeed by 2. So I'm going to assume that does get turned into a doom and add that. I think a failed test still counts as you did not succeed by 2 or more. So, yeah. More doom. If I'm wrong on how I played that, please let me know on the bottom. Alright, Mateo's turn. I mean, I guess we can explore. Let's move here and pick up that clue. 3 versus 2. And he pulls a 0. Nice. He gets that clue, and I think that is enough. 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Yep. Whew. Okay, so at least we, we're moving these things along, so some things are going our way, I guess. Kind of. All right, so the act advances. Hidden corridors. The ruins are far more vast than even Alejandro had anticipated. Carvings in the walls and hieroglyphs etched into the stone altars suggest the existence of a central chamber underground. Perhaps a hidden passageway will show you the way to this chamber, the very heart of the temple ruins. As you pass the strange glyphs in the walls, the ruins groan and croak in protest, and the carvings glow ominously. Years of deterioration have faded the pattern of these glyphs, and the surrounding stones seep with a viscous pus. If only you had some way to restore these glyphs. Check your supplies. If anyone has chalk, remove this act from the game. Otherwise, it goes into the vengeance display. Well, we do not have any chalk, so this is getting added to the vengeance display. Okay, so now we are at 3 vengeance. Alright, Act 2. Whatever's inside the central chamber must be very important. Much care was taken to obscure its location. So we need 8 clues, and we need to be in the Chamber of Time in order to advance. Okay. There are creatures wandering about. And there's the Chamber of Time, so we'll go ahead and shuffle these together. We still have quite a few cards in the exploration deck. We haven't really been able to do much exploring, as we're kind of bottlenecked in that one location forever. And then when the Harbinger came out, it just delayed us even further in that one location. Mateo will move back. He's going to move back over here and end his turn. This creature is going to ready and engage Agnes. He doesn't attack. She will use Forbidden Knowledge to take a horror and gain a resource, and she'll deal damage to this thing. That way she could kill it next round. Okay. And everybody readies. No creatures were ready, so that no one gets attacked. And now we draw our cards and we gain a resource. Oh, wait. Actually, no. So Mateo didn't use all the actions, so we're going to spend his last action to play Find Clothes and put it on... Oh, God. No, he moved there and then he got a clue and then he moved back. Yeah, that's 3. Never mind. Apologies. And on the top right corner of your screen, a vicious creature watches ominously. Ikachi, scrying, okay. Marie, okay. Well, we do need to heal some horror, so clarity of mind, even though it's action intensive, at the moment, I think it's something that's necessary for this group. So everybody gets their resource, and then we'll go ahead and end the round and go into the Mythos phase. So Doom goes on the agenda, and now we will pull our cards. Oh, we got to shuffle the deck. We got to shuffle the encounter deck. So here we go. This is not fun because this just means that we're going to be getting more copies back that we can pull for Entombed, and for that other one, I think it's called Final Mistake, that adds Doom and deals you horror without a skill check. So it's just more chances to pull those, plus more creatures get shuffled back in. Reshuffling this is just a disaster, but nothing we can do about that. The encounter deck should take a horror for having to reshuffle. Okay, so we pull Mateo's encounter card, and it is Obscuring Fog. Actually, this is the best thing that we could pull right now. Perfect, and it goes in there. So there's 2 Obscuring Fogs in this location. Then we get, for Agnes, a Brood of Yig. Now she's got 2 enemies on her. Great. That's not what I wanted. Kachi. Now this dumps Deep Dark card. Can only pick up 1 clue per investigator per turn. And another Brood of Yig, this time on Marie. Well, she can't really handle creatures right now because she hasn't been able to find any spells. She'll have to probably evade him, is what I'm thinking. Oh, and we gotta get rid of the Scourge thing. Yep. That was last round, so that goes away at the end of the turn. Of the round. Oh, this is supposed to be reshuffled into the deck. That's my mistake. Because this was supposed to go away at the end of last turn, and the deck got reshuffled during the Mythos phase. So it was supposed to go in there. Alright. Who will go first? Agnes is getting very close to her horror threshold here. She takes a horror, deals a damage, and gains a resource. We'll go ahead and use Fire Axe. We'll spend... Man, this is... We're kind of in a situation here already again. We're going to get a +6 to hit. So that's 8 versus 3. And we need to land this hit because it retaliates if we don't. 0. Okay. 2 damage to you. He dies. Now we got this guy, and she gets to fight him with her 2 versus 2. Fun times. Agnes, for whatever reason, brought a fire axe into the cave, into the ruins, and has been killing things with it. We're going to commit fire axe and shriveling. 4 versus 2. We already have another copy of shriveling, but we haven't been able to play it or pay for it. It's been kind of messy. But we do have another copy in our hands, so no big deal there. So this combat check, because there's no more resources, it's going to do +2 damage and kill it if we land the hit. So here we go. And that's the auto fail. That's the auto fail. Wasted 2 good cards. And he still lives. Swings again, 2 versus 2. And pulls another auto fail. Oh my goodness. I dropped it in the bag. I wasn't holding on to it. I know people say sometimes, like, you grab it and you hold on to it and you don't notice, but Mateo moves in. Boy. He plays the Spirit Athame, pulls it out. He's been hiding a knife under his robes the entire time, just like he was with Jim. And he sees this creature fighting Agnes. He's going to swing, and it's going to be a 4 versus 2. Mateo swings, and he gets a skull, which is a -3. That's not good enough. He hits Agnes. He stabs Agnes in the arm. Oh! I'm sorry. I was trying to go for the snake, okay? Yeah, snake. A snake. I'm not going to do that again. He explores and pulls Final Mistake. Test 2. +1 difficulty for each doom. 3 versus 4. Fighting an uphill battle. I'll take 2 damage if I fail, which I probably will here. And Mateo gets 0. Would have been a nice pull if it was an even check, but he fails. He takes 2 damage. Alright, and that is his turn. This exploration deck is just insane. The scenario's tough enough. But not knowing where to move, not being able to move to where you're going to. Hey, Burial Pit. Forced. You gotta be kidding me. When you reveal it, either draw 2 cards from the encounter deck or place 2 Doom on the Burial Pit, or any combination. 3 Shroud and 4 clues on it. This is crazy, man. Each location just punishes you just for revealing it, as if things were not bad enough. So far, every single location in play, except for the entryway, has some kind of negative connotation. The one that Akachi's in, you place a Doom if you don't succeed by 2 or more. This one, you automatically either draw 2 encounter cards or place Doom. The one below the chamber, every round clues turn into Doom. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know that there's any good locations on here. Encounter, okay, Snake Scourge, that's not that bad. Akachi doesn't have any items. She moves in for free because of the exploration. Second one, and she gets a Brood of Yig. Another creature. And now we don't have a way to deal with it. So we're going to have to figure this out. Our resources are spent. We've used all our spells trying to kill that Harbinger of Velusia. We'll just have to punch it. 3 versus 2. Wait, actually, we have this Curse of Yig, so it's 2 versus 2. Oh, my God, man. And that's not good enough. This is not going to go well, is it? 2 versus 2. We're going to evade him. Yep, 3 versus 2. Because fighting it is going to be useless here. 0. Okay, so we evade him. At least buys us a little bit of time. Alright. That's Akachi. And now it's Marie, who has a Brood on her as well. So we're going to try and evade him. 3 versus 2. So we pull a Skull. That's good enough. So he is evaded. He goes over there. Marie needs to get out of there. Let's use her ability. Look for a spell. Hey, Shriveling. Finally, something. My goodness. The 2 Shrivelings have been buried in this deck. Look how thin the deck is already. And we haven't pulled a single Shriveling for her. Okay, so that's a good sign, but she doesn't have the resources to pay for it. So she's going to move, and that ends her turn. I think next round will maybe spin an action to get a resource and play Shriveling, because she needs to be able to defend herself. Okay, and that's turns. So enemies ready. This guy re-engages Akachi. This dude gets to attack Agnes. So he hits her, dealing a damage and a horror, which means that she does a damage to him. She's almost dead. One more horror and she's gone. So I don't know how we're going to get out of this. We do have clarity of mind, but it's so action intensive. We don't have the action. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Mateo has pulled the Serpent of Yig, which not only is another creature we got to deal with when we don't have any kind of spells available, but now our Elder Sign token is sealed under this thing. And Mateo's almost dead himself. Okay, emergency cash, not helpful right now. Kachi, I mean, she could use the heart. Well, of all of them, she has the least amount of horror on her. And a flashlight. Okay. Now we're all surrounded by enemies. The Harbinger of Velusia, I'm thinking maybe we should have just evaded it earlier. Although it would have hit us. I just don't know what we could have done differently here. Because that took all our resources, all our ability to fight, and now these monsters are on us and we don't have ways to kill them. That goes away. So, it is, again, the Mythos phase. So, another Doom on the agenda. That's 7 in play. Out of 16 threshold. So, 9 more Doom. So, first encounter card. Serpent's Call. Well, I don't want to draw more encounter cards because I'm almost dead. I'm just going to have to be poisoned. Again, short-sighted. But I have to. That's not good. And now Agnes draws her card. Things are just getting progressively worse here. I think our demise is coming. Akachi's the only one who's still like kind of in a good position. Agnes lost in time. Non-story asset gets shuffled into our deck. Well, we know what that's going to be. Forbidden knowledge. Because we can't get rid of our X right now. That would just be a disaster. Man, this thing is just savagely just pecking away at us. Uh-oh. Omen. Choose a location where there's at least one investigator, place a doom, and deal a horror. Oh, boy. That one. Akachi, it's going to be Akachi's the only one who can take the damage, so it is what it is. Alright, and oh my goodness. Final mistake. 2 damage if she fails. There's 1 doom on her location, so it's going to be a 3 difficulty. She's got a 3. 3 versus 3. I mean, at least we have a chance with this one of succeeding. At least it's not just take 2 damage, you know? Alright, so 3 versus 3. Let's pull. We have nothing we can use. Nothing. We're depleted. And wait. Let's see if we have any cards in our hand that we can use for this. No. I was hoping for at least a question mark, like a wild icon. And we pull a 0. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Whoo! Dodge that bullet. I mean, doesn't mean that we're going to be surviving now, but we survive for the moment. Okay. We'll have Marie go first. She's going to use this medical text. 4 versus 2. She'll use it on herself and try to heal some of that damage. 0. Okay. She heals the damage. And alright, we're going to gain a resource. And then we're going to play Shriveling. She finally has a way to defend herself. Yay! Self 4 charges. She can fight with her willpower and deals +1 damage. Alright, well, that's good. Okay. So Akachi and Marie are kind of in good position still. Agnes and Mateo are on the verge of going insane, both of them. They've just been... It's too much for them to take. Too much for us to take. So... Kachi... She's just going to have to try and evade this guy again, I think. I just don't... Because punching, she's going to have a -1 because of this Curse of Yig. Let's just fight it. Alright. 2 versus 2. I mean, it's going to keep coming back. It's going to be a problem, so we need to do something. Evading is just not... It's such a temporary solution, especially since they're all hunters. Okay. 0. Okay, so he takes a damage. Okay. 2 more to go. That 3 health, man. That's rough. I have a feeling this scenario could have gone even worse for us, to be honest. Alright, 2 versus 2. Another 0. What? Okay. We're on streak, so one more time. 2 versus 2. Man. Not bad. Maybe things will turn around for us. Oh, God, no, no. Not this thing. We pull... That's a failure. And we put a doom on the location. Great. It's 9 doom total in play. We're getting there. Agnes is going to fire axe the guy. Damn, man. I don't want to waste a resource, but I guess we kind of have to, because she's very, very low on her sanity. So we'll attack. It's going to be a 4 versus 2, I think. Boy. And the chaos bag says skull. Nope. Not good enough. 2 versus 2. Do it again. -2. Not good enough. Last time. Otherwise, we're probably going to die here. Or should we try and evade him? No. And we pull a... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. Well, so ends Agnes's tale here in the Doom of Eztli. And... unless Mateo can pull a miracle, pun intended, but that I don't think that's going to happen. That's going to be pretty impossible. 3 versus 2. He goes to swing to evade him. Try again. And he's... last action, we're going to just try and help Agnes. So he's going to use the Athame and try to kill the brood. I mean, they're both dead this round either way, so might as well give it a shot. He's going to try and help her and kill the brood by stabbing it with the Athame. So it's going to be a 3 versus 2. And we pull 0. Okay, he kills it. So Agnes lives to fight another day. Wow. Matteo has done what any priest would do. Sacrificed himself for the greater good. So this one hits Kachi for 1 horror and 1 damage. Agnes lives. This one hits Matteo, killing him. So when this goes away, I think it disappears because it's only after him. So this gets unsealed, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong on this. But I think since it's his only, maybe they go away. I'm not sure. Maybe they stay in play and keep that thing sealed. They don't actually hunt or attack anyone else. I don't know. So Matteo's defeated, and no card yet. We have to move the hunters, which ready. So who does he go after? Let's make him go after Marie. So he moves to Marie's location, and then he's going to attack her. So 1 damage, 1 horror. Marie will take the damage, and her Arcane Initiate will take the horror. Okay. So, okay. Well, this can help. Akachi. Delve too deep. We may just end up doing that in the next round or 2. Ah, okay. It's a dead draw. It's paranoid. So Marie, after the thing comes after and hits her, starts getting very paranoid and dumps all her resources, which she doesn't have any. Drops them to the ground because she thinks they're going to use them against her. And then she gets a resource. All right. Do we stand a chance here? Do we go to resign? Let's see what the encounter dex does. Alright, so let's count this doom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 out of 16. Crypt Chill. Test 4. Willpower. If you fail, choose and discard an asset. Okay. So it's going to be a 5 versus 4. And that's a 0. Okay, good. Phew. Otherwise, she would lose her Fire Axe. Snake Scourge. No big deal. Okay, so far this round has not been very punishing in terms of the encounter deck. Let's hope it stays that way with Marie. So Marie's going to pull her encounter card, and it is Fang of Yig. Oh boy. So now she's got 2 enemies on her. At least she's the one who's better equipped to handle enemies right now. So in a way, I don't mind as much as if it were, say, Agnes or something. Agnes is going to explore. So we're going to go ahead and explore. Let's draw our next card. Are we prepared if it's something bad? Yep, no better time than now. So she's going to go ahead and explore. And we're going to pull our card. And it is Deep Dark. Cannot discard more than 1 clue from each location. Okay, not a big deal. She explores again. Underground Ruins. 2 Shroud, 1 clue per investigator. That's 4 clues. So it's Vengeance 1. So it's considered, when creatures are in there, it's considered to be in the victory display for vengeance purposes, as if things weren't bad enough. Okay. And that one connects to that one. We'll get our clues on there. There we go, 4 clues. No point in exploring this one. All it does, it has a vengeance if you finish exploring it, so it's not going to get us experience points. So I think we're going to just move right on out of here. We don't want to pull an enemy and be there when it happens. So she goes into Akachi's location. And, yep. Yeah. And I think we just took 2 actions. So we have 1 left, I think. We'll gain a resource. And then ends her turn. It's hard keeping track sometimes. Okay, so Akachi's almost done killing this guy. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I'm an idiot. So there's Vengeance 3, so he should have 5. Oh my god, this whole game I've been not adding the vengeance points for these brood. We would be dead a long time ago, I think. Oh man, so 3 versus 2, we're going to try and evade them. There's no way we can hit them. I can't believe I made that mistake. I can't redo the whole playthrough, but okay, nice, look at that. She evades him and she gets to add a charge to her Right of Seeking. If only Shriveling were there. She'll explore. She gets entombed. Oh no, she can't disengage or move. Test 4 agility or 4 combat to break out. Ouch, not a good time for this. We're going to have to... Ward of Protection. Shit. I don't have a Ward of Protection. Oh my god, so she's entombed. Well, yeah. 3 versus, 3 versus 4. Boy. 0, okay, that would have been nice. Then ends Akachi's turn. And then that guy's going to re-engage us, and then we don't have a way to disengage from it because of Entombed. And we can't try to get rid of Entombed because he'll attack us while we're trying to get out of that. It's basically a death trap. Now Marie's going to try and shrivel him. He's easier to hit, so... But he retaliates, so we do need to ensure that our shriveling's hit, so we'll go ahead and commit. 5 versus 3. No, let's do something else. Oh man, I think this is next round will be the final round, because there's no way we're going to make it to the chamber, and there's still another act after that. Yeah, we won't commit the cards. Let's just try it at first as a 4 versus 3 and see what happens. Cultist, that's a failure. Do it again. Yeah, I think Marie is done for as well here. Even though she has the shriveling, this might be too much for her to take right now. We're going to evade this guy. 3 versus 2. She can't hit him, so his fight value is way too high. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's not good enough. So, another Doom gets added to the location. I'm trying to evade him one more time. 3 versus 2. Hey, look at that. The Marie's like 5th Elder Sign has not really it benefited us, but you pull 5 Elder Signs in a game for Akachi or for Mateo, that's a game-winning amount of pulls. So, and turn these guys hit her. The Initiate goes down and dies. Oh no, my friend. That's okay. She saved her life for Marie. She risked her life for Marie. Alright. I just don't see how we get out of this alive. So if Akachi can escape from this being entombed, she's gonna end up going to resign, I think. Agnes, same thing. Oh, lucky. Could come in handy. Shriveling. Yeah, there it is. Well, Akachi might actually have some fight in her then. Okay, so all 3 are good cards. Marie, I think, is more or less done so. She doesn't have too many charges left for shriveling. She can't hit the Brood of Yig twice in one round. There's no way she can hit that kind of high fight value right now. So, but we'll see what the encounter deck throws at us, because that can kill us on its own. And in terms of Doom, we are very close. I mean, that's 11, 12. Creeping Poison. Oh boy. Free damage to Marie. And I think that does her. I think that does her in. That does her in. And those 2 guys are now going to go after the other 2 girls. So things are looking pretty bad. Pretty grim. I don't know how we're going to get out of this alive. Another Creeping Poison. Well, Marie just succumbs to her poison, and it just keeps creeping through her body. Oh my god, Entombed. The other Entombed. So now both girls, they can't even go and resign. Final mistake. 2 damage to Akachi if she fails. It's a test of 2, 3, 4. Great. So it's going to be at 4. No agility boosts in this hand. So I think pretty much it's going to be a luck of the draw here. And we would have gone and resigned, but we've been entombed. I think it's time for Akachi to delve. I'm not a fan of delve too deep. I guess now we get an extra victory point because of it if we end up using it, but this may be after this test, this may be the only option here. I'm not happy about it. I like fighting to the end. So let's see. 3 versus 4. Skull, that's not good enough, so she fails. Taking 2 damage. Spear springs from the wall, hitting Akachi in the neck. She's still alive. Barely. But she's going to go on further. She's going to delve deeper. Agnes will go first. Let's have her hit. Well, the recording has run very long, so it got cut. Sorry, I had to continue. I didn't realize what had happened, but she's going to hit this thing with her fire axe. So 8 versus 5. Okay, so she kills this one. Hey, there may be some some fight left in here. Yeah, so the tape, the recording got cut again. The second time in this recording. I'm sorry, that's not something that normally happens. I usually try to keep a good eye on that, but we're going to explore, and secret passage has been found. 5 shot, 2 clues total, or 4, clues total. After you enter secret passage, you must take 1 horror and 1 damage, or place 1 doom on secret passage. Ignore it if you have a rope. So every single location has something negative, it seems like. I haven't played this scenario in a month or two. Yeah. So every single location so far is terrible for you. We explore. We're allowed to explore. We cannot move. So the location goes into play. But because we're entombed, we stay where we're at. But hey, at least we found the secret passage. 3 versus 4. We're going to go ahead and... Yeah. 3 versus 4 to try and get rid of Entombed, and that's a failure. Turns over. Kachi's almost dead. She's got 1 health left. To have to use those hunters that are in the other location are going to come to us next round, so we have to delve now. So we draw a card from the top of the encounter deck, and then we add this to the victory display. So she goes ahead and delves. Agnes goes first. Lost in time, a non-story asset gets lost in time. Her fire axe yet again disappears. And Akachi pulls a tear in time. 3 willpower for each point you fail by. Lose 1 action or take 1 horror. Okay. She's got 5 versus 3. This is kind of a... We're going to commit Fearless because this is kind of a mediocre test. 6 versus 3 is a little bit better odds. -2. Okay, we make it. Nice. Okay. So we now have another victory point. Yay. So we can't move to escape. And we can't... we're going to get hit next round. We can't resign. I think this is pretty much over. We'll try to get this victory point maybe. So let's 5 versus 3 to investigate. And Agnes is going to commit Peter to the test. So that's going to be a 6 versus 3. And try and nab the clues. Maybe we can get this other victory point. -3. Okay, that's the number needed. So we get 2 clues. Beautiful. Do it again. Rite of Seeking coming in handy. So she'll commit this 6 versus 3. So let's do this, please. Uh-oh. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, yes, we did it. Nice. An unexpected victory point. Look at that. We were able to secure the clues from this place. And that ends her turn. So these guys are going to do their thing now. So they will move in. Who should we go for? We'll move in for Kachi. he'll hit her for damage and a horror. That's enough to kill her. So Akachi's dead. And Agnes, he engages Agnes now, because this thing lowered Akachi's health by 1, so she's dead. So she is defeated. Physical trauma. Agnes... Ah, man. I could have gone and resigned if this Entombed wasn't there. But Agnes is the sole survivor right now. She draws a card, and it is... Okay, the coat. Not really going to help her in any way now. Add Doom to the agenda. So, let's see. 2 Doom left before the agenda advances. Alright, Deep Dark. We cannot discover more than 1 clue per investigator per turn. Don't care about that. And it is Agnes's turn. She's going to try and just hit him. Whatever. Fight or flight. She has 7 horror. So she's going to hit for 9 versus 5. Let's see you now. Yeah, that's good enough. So she hits him for 1. Do it again. Okay, Elder Sign. Very nice. Okay, so that's another one. -3. Good enough. Looks like she kills this guy. I killed him out of spite. I think I could have tried and evade him and used my bonus to try and escape this Entombed, and then moved as my last action, so be able to get away and resign. I just got mad at this guy, and I just wanted to kill him. So I mean, it is what it is. Maybe I could have still survived. Who knows? Too late now. Ill Omen. Choose a location where there's at least 1 investigator, place a Doom, and take 1 horror. Well, we only have 1 horror left before we die. So we place a Doom, and we take a horror. That's enough, and we're dead. Or we go insane. Seeing all her friends go down, be defeated, has turned Agnes insane. That's too bad. This is such a tough scenario. I think we did very well, all things considered. I mean, obviously, completing the scenario would have been the best outcome, or preferable outcome. But all things said and done, for what these decks are, and a team of all purple is already a challenge as it is, didn't do so bad. They were able to take out the Harbinger in 1 round, and you know, they got a few victory points and clues. It just became overwhelming at the end. So Mateo, he gets both a physical and mental trauma. Agnes gets a mental trauma. Akachi gets a physical trauma, and Marie gets a physical trauma. Meanwhile, Jim is still resting at the camp. He already got a trauma from last time, though. But Jim will feel more refreshed for next time. Okay, so victory. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. So 3. Is that 1? Nope. Alright. 3 it is. 3 victory points. All that work for 3 victory points. And a ton of trauma. Vengeance. Okay, that's 3 in the Vengeance display. This guy has 14 damage on him. So, pretty decent, respectable. Well, that is the Doom of Eztli and the doom of this team. I mean, they're not dead. They will be back.
The temple shakes with the ferocity of an earthquake, causing you to collapse to the ground. Serpent creatures emerge from the shadows around you, surrounding you completely. The thought, "This is how it ends," flashes through your mind. For a moment, you contemplate the absurdity of your death. You can only hope that nobody else will be foolish enough to explore these forsaken ruins. Suddenly, a distant voice hisses to the others, and the serpents tentatively retreat into darkness. You run for your life, not taking any chances. The following is scrawled below the previous journal entry.
This was a mistake. This was all a terrible mistake. We escaped the temple with our lives, but not a moment too soon. The ruins were alive. It was as though the walls knew of our intrusion, hated us for our presence, wanted us out, wanted us dead. We have gathered outside the temple where Jose is waiting for us. Alejandro, unwilling to return home empty-handed, wants us to go back inside. We must decide what to do next. We made our decision. There was no way we were going back into that death trap. Thankfully, there was another way. Jose had brought some TNT from the trucks, and there was more than enough to level the damned place. That night, we put on a hell of a fireworks show. The jungle protested, birds scattered into the sky, the ground rumbled, and hateful snarls surrounded our camp. But the dynamite did its job. Once the dust settled, we began sifting through the debris in search of anything with historical or cultural significance we could bring back to Arkham. Jose was the first to notice the blue light peeking out from underneath the remains of the temple. The rays grew in intensity with each passing moment. As we started clearing the rubble in order to discover the source of the light, there was a sudden flash, and the debris at the center of the ruins scattered. A steel orb of unknown origin lay on top of the rubble, gently humming. It was attached delicately to a bronze frame, appearing almost religious in its significance. The blue glow emanating from the device dimmed as I touched it. With the artifact in tow, we left the smoldering temple behind us. We had outstayed our welcome in this rainforest, and we knew it. Around us, the jungle hissed. The ground slithered and crawled with snakes. In the darkness, we heard shouts in a language we could not understand. There was no time to pack up camp. We ran as soon as we had the chance. Andrea was struck in her throat by a black-feathered arrow, and her startled scream captured the grim perpetuity. Jose was grabbed by a giant boa, and we fled north into the river canyon. His neck snapped before we could reach him. Maria was waiting for us with the trucks when we finally reached the northern edge of the jungle. We didn't stop until we crossed into Mexico City. Even now, I do not feel safe. Who could, after seeing what we have seen? To hell with the Eztli, and to hell with this forsaken place.
I bet the expedition members wished they had smartphones so they could FaceTime with their families before they were taken down. FaceTime? More like faceplant time. I hope you liked the tale. I hope Poncho liked the tale too. Until next time, have a good night.